it's an exciting opportunity for Clare, Gladwin, and surrounding counties to help bolster the plastics industry. We've been trying for a number of months, and really, to be honest with you, probably a couple of years plus, to obtain some dollars that would help us meet the demands of local plastics manufacturers in general, dealing with the workforce that they need and are so woefully lacking. So this grant that we have through the National Science Foundation is a 3-year grant that is a $717,000 grant over that 3-year period, and it's going to allow us to do a number of things, including creating curriculum to deal with the workforce and employment issues. When I talk about plastics, I'm really talking about a number of different industries that exist around us. If you take a look in Gladwin County alone, we have individuals who make thermoform parts. So if you think about the cup, well, let's work this backward. How is a cup produced? I talked a little bit about mold making as one instance. So someone has to design it. So that's the design component, which is a separate program at the college. But you have the CNC machining center that an individual would make the design to, and then they would cut the plastic mold out that is ultimately going to make the cup. That mold has to go into a machine. The machines are made locally as well. And so if you think about world leaders in thermoforming machining, there are several of them located in Gladwin County. Beyond that, what about making the part itself? There are several more companies located in our county that take the machine, take the mold, and then they actually make the part. And that could be any number of things. It could be as small as a cup, it could be as large as a truck bed liner, as far as the parts that are made from these machining centers. And then you have the individuals who are making the stock sheet. So you have the machine, you have the mold, you need the plastic to go into the machine, and then the mold to make the part. So we have manufacturers that are actually making the sheet as well. And we have individuals who are taking and shipping that and bringing in raw materials as well that are local companies. So there's a huge cycle of plastics manufacturers located here in Gladwin County. And what we're trying to do is develop programming that will help each one of them survive and to grow. And right now they're all in a growing mode and they need help. That's what we're trying to fix. Give the employers the employment, the opportunity to go get the employees to grow and create more opportunity in Gladwin County. That's a great question. And over time, we have worked with all of our plastics manufacturers in the area. And when I say manufacturers, you know, it's primarily the plastics industry, but all local manufacturing, whether they're attached to the plastics industry or not, will benefit as a result of what we're creating. But to your original question about who's helping to determine what we come up with, it will be the local manufacturing base. They've been at the table in the planning in the early stages. They were with us as late as yesterday, back at the table to learn about the grant. And what they've told us is that there's a huge need in their industry for a trained workforce, and that trained workforce starts at a level that you might call production worker level, through jumping into a skill set that's a little bit higher, and we'll create a entry-level certificate program, a higher level certificate program that will be credit based, so non-credit, credit, and the credit side would be 33 credit hours, and then an associate degree at 64 credit hours that transfers automatically into a 4-year degree at Ferris State University. And let me just say something briefly about Ferris, this program. Very well known in the plastics industry as having a top-notch program. So we're excited to partner with them. They have annually 100% placement of all of their students out into manufacturing. So it's a great opportunity to grow our talent base locally by having students attend or existing employees attend to upskill in any one of these laddered programs. There are two other key components to the product that we're going to be delivering to our community. One is CNC, which is computer numerical control machining. And if you look around our area, almost every manufacturer has a CNC machine on their shop floor. And that machine, if you can envision stock piece of a block of aluminum going into it. It's been pre-programmed by a CNC programmer to make specific cuts so that in the end it is made into some sort of a shape. So if you took this bowl as an example and we wanted to create these out of plastic, you'd first begin by creating that mold. And so what we know is that there is a huge need in the CNC arena. This week alone I've received calls from 3 different manufacturers looking for people. At our meeting yesterday with a greater group of manufacturers, several of them indicated that they could hire today and put on 15 plus people in employment if those individuals with quality skills were ready and available for them. CNC is a key one. So we're going to bring local partners to the table to develop a short-term training program to address those needs. We still have our regular program in machine tool at Mid-Michigan Community College, but this is going to be a new creation, shorter term, that all manufacturers can agree upon. The other key is welding. We're going to create a similar program, short term, in the welding arena. Today our welding program, traditional welding program at the college, is busting at the seams. But if all graduated tomorrow, there still wouldn't be enough to meet local demand. So we're going to bring the manufacturers in, and we're going to create a short-term training program in welding, something that they can all agree upon, that are the minimum skills that they will accept for someone to come to work for them. And then they can take the employee and move with them from there. The K-12 system will also be a key part of the process. The grant that we wrote purposefully puts the K-12 program in place that will sort of be the, what would you call it, the farm team, if you will, that will be developing for the longer term, the years out, to help students understand, help parents understand, help educators understand, help counselors understand what local manufacturing is all about. Because if you say the word manufacturing to most people today, they don't understand, I don't believe, exactly what that entails. And if you say it to a kid in the K-12 programming, they truly don't have an understanding of what that word means. And so what this grant will do is it will allow for students to do job shadowing. It will allow them to do career cruising to figure out what kinds of jobs exist in manufacturing. It will allow for an opportunity for all of those individuals to do tours of local manufacturing plants and see all of the technology that exists on the floor. Many instances it's a clean, cool environment that they could be working in with technology that's well beyond, I believe, what most people understand exists. And not only that, if you think about the industry in our region, it's helped sustain a lot of families in our communities. And so what we want to do is create economic development opportunities here. And that means more families living in our community with better and higher paying jobs with bigger and better skills in their pocket. The college is embarking upon new times, and part of the new times mean that economically it's been a struggle for the college of late as well. Now we've been on a 12-year growth pattern that's literally been straight up in the air, 120% over that period. And over the last 2 or 3 semesters we've seen a downtick in the numbers of students that are attending the college. And so we've had some instances where we've had to take some critical looks at programming. But what we're trying to do is, while we're looking at those programs that maybe make sense to change because of the economics, we're trying to replace them with programs that do make sense. And so we're looking at things like the plastics industry, where the employers are suffering from a lack of quality skilled workers, and we're trying to fix those kinds of issues. We'll be looking beyond that to do an expanded effort in the technical arena and the programs that we offer. We've created new programs of late, like geothermal, which is an exciting new opportunity into the alternative energy sector. That program's up and running at the college. The first group of students who want to go through for that have already came through in short-term training, but we also have now a degree portion for students to enter into, to get into the geothermal field work. So exciting new opportunities, exciting new times at the college, and the Board of Trustees have been extremely supportive of the business and industry sector of our communities. They put a lot of funds behind these new endeavors and efforts. And so there's a good, solid foundation and footing for us to move forward in creating these new programs that are going to benefit all of our local manufacturers and businesses. The program is going to be developed over time, but the grant specifically calls for us to do specific programs within year 1, year 2 of the grant, and then finally year 3. We will be hiring a project coordinator and then 2 other individuals as a result of the grant. And those individuals will go to work immediately. As I said earlier, we've already started the work. We've met initially with the manufacturers of the region, and we will now look to bring them back to the table for subsequent meetings where we're going to start to delve into some of these issues. How do we want to have the non-certificate program look? What kinds of educational classes would we have in the certificate degree program that would transfer to Ferris? Those are questions that the manufacturers need to be able to answer for us, and so they'll be at the table to do that. So the project begins immediately. We're already well underway, and as soon as we get the coordinator hired, it will be moving at a much quicker pace, but it's moving along already. To learn more, there's a couple of ways. The traditional way is the telephone, where you can phone me or anyone at the college at 386-6614, area code 989. A better way might be, as we continue to develop some of these things, by looking on our website at www.midmich, all one word, .edu. So www.midmich.edu.